2, 3.
Yeah, that sounds a little bit better. Test, test, test. We'll ask the live screen.
All right.
Live stream now that we're on. Guys, do any of us sound particularly quiet or loud? I'm trying to get my camera to change color profiles. There we go.
I'm told I'm quiet, but I'm willing to be proven
And
wrong.
then how am I doing? We're trying to figure this out. I had a huge computer it took an eternity for me to reset the computer. I think there was some software update, and it was just like it went in like recovery mode, and I was like, "Oh no!"
Oh yeah, that's always scary.
No.
Let's see if I can get better
What are you
color here.
changing all your like color balances or whatever?
Yeah, I'm trying to find one that's halfway decent because I use the gray one for shooting normally.
Are you a psychopath that shoots in Vlog?
I don't do log, but I do the one that's like one up from log. There's log, and then there's, they call it cine-like on my camera, and that's the one that I use. That's also quite gray.
Huh.
It looks more gray here than it does in my video editing software, though. So go figure.
I get that. Okay, Patreon giveaway. Just let me
Can I
go on
press this button?
Patreon.
Work.
You know, I gotta say, it would be so much easier to do the Patreon giveaway without actually putting it in a randomizing thing. If I was just like,
Yeah,
but
well,
like,
I mean,
that's not cool, right?
well, as long as you've established, maybe you could do a dartboard on the wall behind you with photos of all our different patrons, and then you turn around, throw a dart.
Blow out a window.
Okay, so Joe is saying, Deric, you haven't talked yet, which makes me think that you might be a bit too quiet because you've definitely talked.
Test. Nothing. Nobody from anybody. Oh, I'm here. Hello.
I can. That still sounds too quiet. Definitely relative to Eric, you sound too quiet.
Yeah. Well, maybe I'm just too loud.
Yeah.
Crank it a little bit more.
Well, to Deric, to you, does Zach and I sound about the same?
Y'all sound about the same.
All right.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna go to 170. I'm gonna go to 70. Let's see if I blow y'all out now.
That sounds better.
Whoa!
All
No,
right.
it's fine. There you go. Active patrons.
Okay.
Download CSV. Open CSV.
Is today the drawing?
Oh,
It's
yeah.
the first of the month? Oh, hell yeah.
Oh,
Nice.
I almost sent Zach Blanton an email.
I'm sure he would have
accident.
appreciated that.
Yeah.
Let me open up the live stream window so I
thanks,
can talk. Deric is a little quit.
You quitter.
Yeah, okay. I think we've achieved balance now.
Have you noticed that there's certain programs? Well, you guys probably don't know this. There's certain programs like on a Mac.
Mm-hmm.
I would take Photoshop on a Mac any day, but Excel, I would rather drive into oncoming traffic than use Excel on a Mac.
Really? What's the difference with Excel on a Mac?
It's
I've
terrible.
Okay.
Everything about it is terrible.
Is it's significantly different than a PC?
Yes.
It's like a downgraded version of it.
Oh,
really?
Yeah.
It's so bad. I would rather use a 15 to 20-year-old version of Excel than use Excel on a Mac.
Whoa, I had no idea. What about Word? Is Word different?
It's
Word
better than the Excel Mac version, but it's still not the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would go to Google Docs all day.
Oh, I can't stand Google Docs. It makes me want to blow my brains out every time I use it.
That tells you how bad the Microsoft.
Yeah, true. Good point. Good point.
Okay, I think I got it. Oh, now it says this.
Google Docs, but I don't use it for much. So,
Deric, I can control your volume. Here, let me try. Let's try this.
Control my volume.
In the top right-hand corner, there's like a little of your screen, of your particular window. There's like a little 3-dot thing, and then I can go edit mic settings and turn you up.
Oh yeah, I can do yours too.
Should we screw with Eric throughout the show and just turn his down slowly?
Tired of hearing him talk. Fuck. What? This plus AF.
That's great. Well, I guess it makes sense that it's far behind Windows because it's a Microsoft product and they want to give you every incentive in the world to switch over to Windows. But that's kind of crazy considering how big the Mac platform is.
But is it only like, what, 10-15%?
True. Is there a what's like spreadsheet software that's better for Mac? Like, do they have their own?
They
I don't
tried.
know.
I don't know if
They
it's still
tried.
around or not.
Mac spreadsheet.
Their version is called Numbers, and it's pretty terrible.
Oh yeah.
I know that the Excel one is so bad that my father-in-law, he's a Mac user, dedicated hardcore Mac user, but he has a program that allows him to emulate Windows on Mac so that he can run
Right.
Excel and Word and all that.
Surprise me.
Wow. It's so funny because like Excel, I feel like has been the same program for the last 20 years. Like, sure, they dress it up, and I guess if you're like a really advanced user,
Yeah,
then
there's a lot of like back end stuff.
Yeah, but like, it's not like 20 years ago you still had lookup tables and stuff like that. I think so.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's like a lot of like the way that you can interface with other databases and pull information in.
Tier.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, I mean, I guess I'm a pretty basic Excel user at the end of the day.
Yeah.
I just use it once a year to do my taxes, and that's it.
I mean, you can run Doom on Excel, so
Yeah, true. I think I talked about this before on the podcast, but my buddy's he was an analyst for an investment bank at one point, and he was like a pro Excel user. He's like, I don't even touch the mouse when I'm using Excel.
Yeah, they've got they got like the tournaments and stuff.
Yeah,
right?
and that's what he was telling me. There's like these tournaments where people go and compete. They like, they're like give you a thing. They're like, you need to create a model in Excel that predicts like how this nuclear power plant is going to like generate electricity and make a profit and stuff like that. And here's like 10 facts about it. Now design the model from scratch. Yeah.
Why can I not get this diamond dog?
Dog.
B10. Okay, there we go. It's because we changed the tier names. That's why my Excel sheet got goofed up.
yeah, the other ones. Yeah, I just left the other ones where they were.
Yeah, no worries.
I don't think many people have taken advantage of the
The new
cheaper top tier option.
Okay. We're good over here now. I'm ready to get this bad boy started if you guys are.
Well, let's do it then.
Light the candle.
Yeah, light it.
Welcome to Off the Cut.
Dude, I haven't touched any wood in a long time.
I don't care how long it is.
Or you're trying to make eye contact with the person.
Maybe you're looking at it from the wrong angle.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
I'm glad we got the explicit out of the way early.
If I'm going to put money into this, it's going to be great. And I guarantee it.
Get it?
Ooh.
Yeah. You got one?
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Whew. That is the the trifecta.
That's right. The Three Musketeers are back, baby.
Oh, we're back, baby. So welcome to Off the Cut episode 163 for Tuesday, May 6th, 2025.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get right into it. Did you guys watch Jay Katz's launch video for his new? I'm already killing it.
I did
His
not.
French cleat thing.
I did not, because did he do it on YouTube?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what the hell?
Huh,
It's a
pretty
YouTube algorithm. Sometimes.
Yeah.
It's nuts. So we've been hinting about this. If you go to kmtools.com, you can check it out. It's this his version of the French cleats that solve all of the issues. Now I will say, on the first time I saw it, I was like, this is going to be a pain because of the way it locks in. You're going to have to slide your stuff all the way out and able to undo it. No, it's got these really neat, spring-loaded turning latches. So your stuff locks onto the French cleat, and then you just turn the latch and pull it off. So you truly can lock it in and put it on anywhere.
Hell yeah.
Thought out.
Yeah.
I mean, I had faith that he would figure it out. Jonathan doesn't fuck around. There's the explicit.
There it is, explicit already.
He doesn't fuck around when it comes
explicit
to tools.
in the ad read.
In the ad read, that's right.
That was
This
something
is
he actually
truly
heard.
unhinged.
If he swears in his store, he swears in his shop. That's his tagline. But
I thought about not saying it, but I was like, no, Jonathan wouldn't care. He's cool with it. He likes
I was looking through some of the product listings that he had for the new French cleat stuff, and he had one of them was this thing that had magnets in it, and it held up chisels and stuff like that. And he has you've seen Breaking Bad, right?
Yeah, Actually, just rewatched it recently.
Oh, it's a great show.
Yeah.
You know, the famous line of Jesse Pinkman where he says, "Magnets, bitch," or
Yeah,
whatever, right? That's in Jonathan's sales copy for some. I was like, that's so clever. Well, that's because not only is his sales copy for everybody, but his tools are for woodworkers by woodworkers.
Woodworkers. And that is right. Dude, sorry, I got to talk more about this French cleat system. I'm
This
looking
that'll
at
work.
it
Is
now.
okay, and everybody knows a portion goes to the Cat's Moses Woodworkers with Disabilities Fund.
Yeah, and he supports our patrons with a $50 gift card every week, which we're about to do in a second. But let me talk more about this French cleat system and why this is so smart as a product. Because he has now created a whole ecosystem of products. Not only is it the French cleat, but he's got hangers for drill bits. He's got hangers for screwdrivers. He's got a magnet one, like you were just saying. He's got one for it looks like a gravity holder for different size saws.
Yeah,
It's genius.
it's
He's
clever.
just like unlocked a whole new, I don't even know what to call it, like a whole new segment of customers.
It's
He's gonna keep them coming
modular.
back. Yeah, he's gonna keep
Right?
them coming back and back.
Well, because you're probably gonna pick up something basic, like you're gonna pick up like French cleat rails, and then you're gonna pick up, I don't know, maybe some drill bit holders or something
Sure.
like that. And then you're like, okay, this is pretty slick. This works well. I would like to add saw holders. I would like to add shelves. I would like to add this and this and that. And like, I think he's gonna do all right with this one.
I think so too. And it's cheap, man.
It's
Like,
yeah.
some of these are very affordable. Actually, most of them are. I'm scrolling. Haven't seen anything over $50 yet.
Right.
It's most of it's between $10 and $20.
So
you could do a whole wall for like $100 or something.
right. And okay, I'll be very transparent here. As somebody who just started selling 3D printing things, I can tell you just by looking at what he's selling and the prices, he has a pretty low margin on this stuff.
Oh
yeah, definitely. Like some of these things that he's selling for. Hold on, here. He's got one for, it's a tool holder for marking knives and little squares and stuff like that. It's $9.
And I guarantee he
looking
has
at like
at least 100 grams of filament in there.
I'm saying, yeah, there's like probably $3 worth of filament there.
Right.
Not to mention print time, shipping costs, et cetera, et cetera.
Exactly. People are going to be like, oh, that's 60% margin. Oh, no.
Yeah.
You have wear and tear on your machines. You have like,
Self.
yeah, the labor that you're going to have somebody loading and unloading, the shipping costs for your boxes, your tape, your packing materials, everything. There's probably pretty low margin on that stuff.
Actually, you know what? This is a different topic that kind of ticks me off. But every time you see somebody do a cost estimate of something in a video, it's always wildly unrealistic. They're always like, oh, it cost me like $10 worth of, wood to make this thing. And you're like, yeah, but then you also had like 10 screws in it. You had a finish on it. You had 3 trips to Home Depot. And it's like,
and how long did it take you?
Yeah, exactly, Deric. You're right.
And people do that. People do that same math when they're looking at products. So like, well, that thing is no more than like that. Like, say you're going to buy like a bench from somebody that's made out of 2x4s. They'll be like, oh, it's $40 worth of 2x4s. It's like, yeah, it's $40 worth of 2x4s, and then 5 hours to slap it all together. 60 screws, 3 trips to Home Depot, a finish of, the brushes that go into it. There's so many little things that go into products that people very rarely take account for.
And those sweatshop laborers are not cheap.
I know,
overseas.
that's right. Yeah.
No, but you're absolutely right. I mean, I think that's one of those things people will be like, okay, whatever. It's, $100 worth of materials. Okay, I'll make 20% on that. Charge $120.
Yeah.
Nope.
No.
Yeah.
Don't. No.
Yeah.
Like you have all of your time.
Yeah.
And your time includes, like you said, driving to the store, waiting in line to check out, driving home. Planning. Yeah. You don't just come home and like you have this, in Zach's example, the 2x4 bench. Like you don't have this thing just masterfully conceived from the get-go. You probably spend 5 or 10 hours coming up with the design. Like,
Yeah.
And if you do, you create a store called KM Tools.
That's right, baby.
Hell
God,
yeah.
some of these are
Well,
cool.
speaking of KM Tools, every single month, we take credit for it. Really, it's Jonathan. Jonathan, I mean, we
help.
give
We administer.
we send the email. We connect the two. We make the ends meet.
Yeah.
So we give away a $50 gift card to KM Tools every single month, and all that you have to do is sign up over on patreon.com/offthecut-podcast. Any tier level, not the free tier level. I don't know why that's there.
I can't get rid of it.
It's the dumbest thing in the world. People sign up and they're like, I didn't even know I signed up because they never hear anything.
That's so funny.
Anyway, sign up for any paid tier level, automatically entered to win. And since today is the first episode of the month, it's time to give away some of Jonathan's money.
Heck yeah.
Oh, excuse me, I got a burp. All right. It's what's the 6th day of the month? Let's refresh it 6 times. So we download.
I was just thinking the exact same thing.
Oh,
I was like,
that
if he asked me for a random number, I'm going to tell him 6. So
6.
it's the 6th day of the month. Crazy.
Yeah. All right. So we have a random generator. It's an Excel sheet, fancy math. And so you guys know that it's real. Before the show, Zach, Deric, didn't I have to pause the recording because my Excel spreadsheet broke and I had to re-edit it?
Yeah,
That's correct. And then we had a 10-minute tangent on how much worse Excel for Mac is than PC. It's good times.
Bad.
We probably should have recorded that because it was great.
Yeah. Well, and then we had this whole thought. We were like, what if we just don't? It would be so much easier if we didn't randomize it and we just were like, here, pick a name. But that wouldn't be honest.
I did have the idea of putting a dartboard behind you with all the patrons' faces on it, and then you just throw a dart backwards, and whoever it's closest to wins the prize.
What if that mistakenly turned into like a voodoo doll thing? No, seriously.
Yeah, it's true.
I throw a dart and then it hits somebody in the eye, and then they're over in they're up in Saskatchewan or something like that, and all of a sudden they just went blind in one eye. Couldn't live with myself. My career would be over.
Could happen.
All right. Anyway, let's quit screwing around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is not the winner, but the runner-up, which gives you a beautiful prize of knowing you almost won, is Mayday Woodshop. And number 6 is Hythe Woodworking Designs. If I'm not mistaken, that's why am I breaking it? The governor lives over in the UK. Why am I blanking on his name? It's been too long. Hold on. It's coming to me. It's coming to me. It's coming to me.
Tony Blair?
No. Oh.
He's on the other one too.
I know. Give it to me. Why can I not think of it? Deric, do you remember?
Can't remember either.
We're bad at this.
I want to say it's Gary, and we have so many different.
Gary Furness.
Thank you. Yes. See,
that's it.
I am the absolute worst at remembering screen names to people's real names.
Oh, it's impossible.
Sorry, Gary. And if it would have just come up Gary, I would have been like, Gary, Gary Furness, right?
Yeah, the screen name thing. There's a disconnect there.
It's tough.
Especially when you don't see their face all the time.
Exactly. I'll leave it like you'll meet people at, like an event or whatever, and you're like, oh, Sarah, or, you meet Sarah, and then she's like, oh, my thing is 317 Woodshop Adventures, and you're like, I'm not going to remember that.
Yeah. But it's one or the other. I
I
can usually remember one, but I can never correlate the two.
I know. I'm the worst. Anyway, Gary Furness. I'm writing it right down now, and my sincerest apologies.
That's a great
and just remember, Gary, we still help you out more than the Green Suiters podcast does. Right. So
it's free splinters.
Did we ever bring that splinters
up? I think we've only ever talked about it in after shows.
Yeah, they changed their name because nobody was listening to their podcast. So they tried to change it over to Three
They had to start
Splinters.
all over again.
Uh-huh.
I
Yeah,
wonder,
it
did
still
they start
sucks,
all
though.
over again? They have a lot of reviews on Apple Podcasts, so I think
They
they
just
must have.
changed it,
Yeah, I think they just changed it in place.
rebranded, but still no one watches it or listens, so it doesn't matter.
Well,
But it is available on all streaming platforms. Three
Mhm.
Splinters podcast. Go check it out. Please don't.
oh my God, what are these? You know what? How much their highest Patreon tier is? I gotta bust their balls about this next time I see it.
It's a few $100, isn't it?
It's like, I think it must be 250. It's showing 300 Canadian dollars, so it must be like 200, 250.
There's several
American.
tiers, but there's not really much difference after the first
Yeah.
one.
None of them are valuable. Just like their show.
They
terrible.
have a Discord channel. That's interesting.
It's
What do you
pretty
think?
active.
What do you think the chances of any one of those three knowing how to use Discord is?
Unlikely.
None of them are on there.
Unlikely. Well, I want to start it off with a grievance, right?
Okay.
So after this, we may have no airlines to fly on. All right.
Right.
Who betrayed you?
So
hurt you?
we've thoroughly roasted Air Canada, right?
Of course.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Next on the docket, American Airlines.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Americans pretty rough. Pretty rough.
Deric, you say, "Oh no," is American
say, "Oh,
Airlines
no."
your go-to?
That's our go-to.
Oh, I thought you were a Delta man.
Nah, American Airlines.
I have zero loyalty towards airlines.
Yeah, whoever's the cheapest. That's my
Right.
game plan.
Whoever's the cheapest as nonstop.
Yeah.
So
That's why we go with American, because we can usually get where we want to go nonstop.
Right.
And it's not cramped like Spirit or Southwest would be.
yeah.
How much do you have to save in order to take a stop?
Probably 30%.
30%. Yeah, I'm kind of in that ballpark too. But it depends. Like, it's a sliding scale. If it's a really cheap flight, if it's like a $300 flight, and there's like a $200 one, but you have to stop
Oh,
for
I'm
3
taking
hours.
nonstop all day.
I'm taking the nonstop one, right? So
Yeah,
I think my
nonstop.
over under is kind of like $300.
Yeah. Well,
That's-
I don't
especially
know.
like
If it's like a $1,200 flight to like another country, $300
Well-
isn't that significant.
True.
Mm.
And sometimes a stopover is kind of nice. Like if you're doing a really long haul flight, like if you're flying from, LA to Australia or something like that.
Yeah.
Or New York to Australia, probably be worse. But you know what I mean? It's nice to have, maybe like, you stop in Hong Kong for a bit, stretch your legs, and then get back on.
That's what would get me to do a layover, to break
Yeah.
up the flight.
Right. So so we were flying to Phoenix, right? So from Ohio to Phoenix was it was about a 4-hour flight.
Mhm.
So no way in hell am I taking a layover on that,
Yeah, that's a
Oh, yeah.
direct flight for sure.
right? So we pay. I think it was like $115 more to get a nonstop flight. Done
Easy.
all
Yep.
day, right?
Mhm.
So anyway, so I was out last week. Mandy and I went to Phoenix, or flew into Phoenix. Went to Arizona. We went up to Page and checked out like the Antelope Canyons. Did like some kayaking. Then we went to Grand Canyon, hiked down in Grand Canyon and stuff like that. And then we went
Nice.
to Sedona for a few days, did some hiking. So anyway, it's day 8 of the vacation. We wake up, go out for a nice brunch because we got like a 3:00 flight, right? We're
Okay.
like, hey, why don't we take like the hour and 20-minute, hour and a half drive to Phoenix from Sedona, get a nice brunch,
Mhm.
get some brunch cocktails, and then just hang out at the airport, have a nice flight home. We'll get home at like 10:30 or 11. It's all good, right? So we get to the airport. It's like 1:30. Showed up like an hour and a half early. Whatever. Sitting there, and we're like, well, we got time. Why don't we, grab an airport cocktail, right?
Yeah.
We're
of course.
sitting there just chilling. And they're like, oh, your flight's been delayed till 3:30. We're like, well, that's cool. And it's delayed till 4.
Oh no.
And then it's delayed till 4:30. And then it's delayed till 5.
Mhm.
And then they come on and say, hey, the pilot, the plane's been here since noon. And the pilot is in LA and that plane is delayed. So the pilot's not here. But
I'm surprised they give you that much detail.
Yeah.
oh, as am I, because that's an asinine excuse. How do you not have like a substitute teacher, right?
Yeah, true.
And anyway, they're like, hang still, right? We'll give you an update. So they keep pushing out like in like half-hour increments, right?
Yeah.
And now it's 7:30, 8 o'clock, and they're like, yeah, we're just gonna cancel the flight. We're like, it's been 5 hours. Like you couldn't. If you told me this earlier, I could have chose a different airline. So obviously, everybody's like going over the customer service thing. People are irate. It's like 200 some people in this line, whatever. They are like, here's what we can do. We can put you guys on flights that board at like 11:58 p.m. So still technically the same day.
Yeah.
Fly you to like Dallas.
Oh.
And then you'll have like a 10, 11, 12-hour layover in Dallas. And then fly from Dallas to Ohio.
That sounds like a nightmare. Okay.
So I'm obviously like, absolutely not.
Yeah.
Like, well, I'll fly out tomorrow. And I was like, you guys need to give us a meal voucher and, hotel. And I like, how that works, right? And they're like, oh, no, we're not doing that for anyone because we can get you on a flight today. You've just chosen not to take that.
Oh.
So we're like, yeah, oh, dude. People in this line were so mad. Like everybody was like, I need to speak to a manager. Like, you need to give me this. Because everybody was like, absolutely not. I'm not spending my entire night. I'm not sleeping in an airport, right?
Sleeping in an airport, like twice essentially. Because then you go to Dallas and you just have to wait there for however many hours.
Like 12 hours, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Oh my God.
So we were like, whatever, we book a hotel room or whatever, and we hang out there, and then we go through the whole thing the next day, right? They start delaying it again. We're like, you've got to be effing kidding me, right? Finally, we get on the damn plane. Oh, and then we land or whatever. We're like an hour and a half late. Then we land on the runway, and we waited for 45 minutes before we got to the gate.
Are you just fuming the entire time?
Oh, dude. And I'm just like, I'm so tired. I'm so over this. I want to be home. And both of us got like what we think is some sort of like sinus infection thing while we were gone too. So we're like miserable and like we have terrible like sinus pressure and headaches and like can't breathe. And we're just like, we just want to be home. So lo and behold, don't fly American Airlines.
Yep. Well, listen, big companies. When you try and pull this shit where you're like, technically we flew you out on, we could fly you out same day so we don't have to put you up in a hotel. That'll work 99.9% of the time. But every once in a while, you're going to hit a podcast host with one of these big things. And then you're going to get blasted all over their podcast and everybody's going to hear about your evil deeds.
You know what you do is whenever you go to pay them, instead of just giving them money, give them free tickets to the podcast and say, well, technically,
I know.
Technically, right? I paid you with something.
I know. I've often wondered about, like, can you get in like a standoff? I'm trying to like,
get like a prepaid American Express card or whatever.
Yeah. Well, like, you go to like return something at a store and they're like, sorry, sir, store policy is that we can only give you store credit in return for this. What if you hit them with, well, my policy is that I always get cash back?
This is a Seinfeld episode.
And then you just have a standoff between your policy and their policy. Like, it's all just made up.
It's just well, this is a Seinfeld episode. George goes to the chiropractor or whatever, and they cancel on him.
Yeah,
and then they cancel on him, or he cancels on them, and they're like, "Well, sorry, it's our policy. It's within 24 hours. You have to pay." And then they cancel on him, and he hits him with the same thing. Sorry, it's my policy. Like, no, you're absolutely right. Like, it's just
isn't your policy also the customer's right?
Yeah, true. Right. I think a lot of companies start moving away from that one.
Yeah. Well, so the worst part is like we walk up. So when this first happens, everybody like swarms like the American customer service thing. And I was like, this is Eric thinking on his feet.
Mm-hmm.
What if we walk down to the different gate, like further away? Because
Oh,
there are
yeah.
multiple American customer services,
It's
right?
true.
Oh yeah.
No one in that
Okay.
line.
That's good. That's a good
So
one.
I
And you get the
walk up.
person who's maybe a little bit more friendly because they're not dealing with a horde of people.
Exactly. That's what I
Yeah.
thought. You know me. And am I an angry person? I'm pretty polite to
Yeah.
people in general,
Yeah.
right? You
I
might
feel like in a
consider me
situation like
smooth.
that, you're not making a scene.
No,
Yeah.
no. So I walk up. I'm just like, oh, hey, our flight to Ohio got canceled. We're just want to get things rebooked and get things situated. And this lady starts. She goes, "Sir, I know you're angry right now." And I was like, "What?" And she like starts like screaming at me. I'm like, "What in the
Uh-oh.
world?" So I was just like, "You know what? Forget it." And I just walked away.
Wow.
But dear God, is a nightmare. It makes you never want to travel. Or like, do you travel having like never schedule anything the first day? Do you just like always travel with a buffer day, or like?
I mean, that is a
plan
good way to do it,
things.
but that's a very luxurious thing to
Yeah.
have built into any vacation, right?
Yeah,
Whole buffer day, it's kind of crazy.
like
Yeah.
you can't plan for this stuff, right?
No. I mean, what about like? Did you have to miss a day at work or anything? Because
Well, no, we flew home Saturday.
okay,
They got canceled, so we flew home Sunday. But yeah, I mean, like, what if I would have had
yeah,
to do
what
that?
if?
That would
Yeah,
have sucked.
and
Right?
you gotta like deal with your cat and stuff like that too.
Right.
You gotta whoever's looking after her. Can you look after her for a day longer? And God forbid you have kids or anything like that.
Right. Or like,
Have you ever tried to call one of these companies to talk to customer service after the fact?
Oh, it's
They don't have
impossible.
numbers listed anywhere.
Oh, it's
You
impossible.
can't-
no.
You
Yeah,
can't contact them.
the best you
No.
can do is like fill out a online form,
Right.
and
Right.
maybe they'll contact you at some
Hope
point
for
in
the
the
best.
future. Yeah.
This is one of those things where like it really sucks. You're definitely just getting bent over. But as much as I hate to say it, it's not even worth your time.
Yeah.
You're going to put so much mental anguish and distress into maybe
I
getting
know.
$120 hotel
Voucher,
room
whatever.
refunded.
I know. So we booked it. Speaking of, again, Air Canada, another horrible airline. Sophie had like $500 worth of Air Canada miles, credits, whatever the hell they call them, right?
Sure.
And she booked a hotel with them on our last trip. And something happened with the booking. It booked on the Air Canada website, but the hotel never received the actual booking.
Sure.
So as we called the hotel ahead of time, we were like, "Hey, can we switch our room?" And they were like, "No, your thing never booked." So she's been fighting with Air Canada for 6 months to get this like $500 worth of points back, and
It's not worth it.
It's just and that's I was talking to her yesterday, and I was like, "You ever get those points back? Because we're going on another vacation." She was like, "No." I was like, "Should we just call it? Like, should we just accept and move on that those points are never coming back?"
So frustrating.
I don't know.
But it is what it is.
Yeah.
Fortunate enough that the $120 thing hotel room didn't bankrupt us. But like, how much would that suck if like, I don't know, I'm making this is a specific scenario. Somebody in your family passed away and you're scraping all your dollars together to go to a funeral. And then like, but then like truly like you can't afford the hotel room. Like, what do you do?
For sure.
Just sleep in the airport?
Sleep in the airport. I mean, you do what I used to do when I was younger, which is you curl up on one of those benches and you hope you fall asleep eventually.
I think they used to have like special rates if you were going to a funeral. Like if you were a direct next of kin relative, you could get special rates on flights.
Actually, here, I'll tell you exactly what you do if you're stuck in a situation like that. Find the airport lounge, pay the entrance fee, and just hang out there. I did that in Hong Kong. I had a 12-hour layover. I spent $40 to get in. It's free food and alcohol once you're in there.
Mm-hmm.
They had showers, they had bathrooms, and they had private like pods with big reclining chairs. So
but that's Hong Kong.
Yeah, so
that's not in
American
Phoenix.
Not so much.
I think in big like Dallas, you probably get one. Maybe not Phoenix. You probably but like New York, LA, the bigger airports, you would definitely get The lounge is worth it.
I've heard
And
the
then
ones in America aren't as good as the ones in other countries, though.
okay,
But
okay.
I've never been in one, so I don't know.
I used to think it was this extravagant thing that was like, you know, millions of dollars. But every time
Yeah.
I've checked, it's been somewhere between 30 and $50. And it's once you get in, it's like all you can drink and all you can eat.
We get it with American Airlines through our one of our credit cards is
Oh yeah, interesting.
it gives us like the American Airlines one, but we've never been in an airport that actually has one. Like
They're pretty hidden too.
there's only like 20 or so in the US.
Yeah.
Oh,
I had an app that would like tell me which terminal, like which area of the terminal the lounge was in, like who you needed to be a member with in order to get into it. It's not always an option, but when it is, it's a great place. And usually when you go in, they limit you to 3-4 hours, something like that, but nobody's checking. Again, in Hong Kong, I paid for 4 hours. I stayed there for the full 12.
right. And you're not, as long as you're not loitering or just disturbing people. What do they care?
Yeah, exactly. They're looking for troublemakers.
You know, one thing I will say that we got the TSA pre-check.
Oh yeah, that's worth
That's lovely.
yeah.
It's so much faster.
Although I was in Boston once with a bunch of my buddies. It was a bachelor trip, so there was like 12 guys. Two of them had TSA pre, so they got into their line, and the rest of us were into the normal line. But it must have been a really slow day at the airport because the guys in the TSA pre line actually took longer to get through security than the normal line did, and we made fun of them vigorously afterwards.
Oh, you would have to,
Because
right?
before, the whole way to the airport it's them bragging about how quickly they're going to breeze through security.
Right.
Yeah.
But it was nice. I mean, you just like, it seems like for the most part, people in that line are like more equipped of the knowledge of traveling. They just like get their stuff off, throw them there, and good to go. You don't have to take your shoes off and whatnot. So it's just
100%.
faster, and you don't have the bottleneck of people take their stuff off, block the entire conveyor belt while they're trying to put their shoes on and stuff. Like,
Well, it's such a rigmarole now. Like, and every airport's different that I go to. It's like
Yes.
I go up to the guy. I'm like, "Do you want my shoes on or off? Do you want my laptop out or can I leave it in the bags?" You know, like the last one. He was like, they were like, if you have a jacket, you have to take it off. And I was wearing like I was wearing a quarter zip sweater. And I was like, does this consider it a jacket? And he was like, no, but if it unzipped all the way, then you would have to take it off.
what if you're wearing a jacket with no shirt under it?
Well, see, I mean, that is my normal travel attire going to the airport. So,
The one where
I
they
just hate
wear
how-
jackets without shirts.
and then you have a standoff between you got to take your jacket off in order to go through security, and their no shirts, no shoes, no service rule.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Catch 22 right there.
Catch 22. Yeah.
You're homebound. You're stuck. You're not flying.
I just hate how the different areas in the different airports, the TSA acts like you should know what you're supposed to do when you get up there, even though they're
But they
changing the
don't.
rules at every
Yeah.
single one of them.
Yeah.
It's that attitude. I don't like their attitude.
Yeah.
Like you go play-
People say TSA has a bad attitude, but I've actually only ever had good experiences with them.
Maybe it's when you travel. When do you typically fly?
I don't know that there's any
Morning,
like
night?
real pattern to when
It's
I
a
fly.
Canadian thing.
Maybe, yeah. I do.
It's Vincent on you.
I did like. I travel with Sophie all the time. Obviously, she gets a little stressed out in the airports with me because it's you're going through a bunch of security checkpoints, and I kind of get it. But me, I'm on vacation time. I am not a care in the world as I stroll through the airport. I even had once how they swab your bag for like
I love it.
explosives and drugs and
Yeah,
stuff like
yeah.
that. That one even went off on me once. It was like beep 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 beep, beep when the person scanned it. I was like, must be a mistake. It's fine.
Right.
And I just walked over. I was like, joking around with the person, and
You got me.
yeah, exactly.
But see, then it makes you wonder, like, if you throw out those kind of jokes, like, are you making the situation better or worse?
I mean, it was okay for me. The person was like, yeah, sometimes it just goes off. It's just a funny thing.
Yeah.
It sounds foolproof.
Yeah.
I
Hey.
fully trust it now.
I have one travel related thing
Okay.
that I don't know if you guys have experienced yet. So we were and going to the Phoenix airport or whatever. And we're like, these are some goofy looking cars.
Oh,
And I was like, is that a Jaguar? Like a crossover small SUV or whatever.
Mhm.
And I was like, yeah.
Oh, you were in Arizona. I know where you're going with this. I
was
think.
like, what is this? These weird things like cake to these cars. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, it's one of those Google like things, Google Earth cars or whatever.
Yeah.
Right? And then I'm like, there's no one in it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So for everybody at home following along that wants to know about this, type in WAYMO, Waymo.
Waymo, yeah.
Yeah.
Autonomous
These
drivers.
driverless cars. Dude, it is insane. You
Well, now I
basically
gotta know. Did you get in one? Did you take
Yeah.
one?
So we had this discussion the entire week we were there.
Yeah.
It's literally just in like super, super, super small segment
Areas.
around the Phoenix airport, like, whatever.
Oh, okay. I thought it was an entire city.
I think they have to like pre-map the area. Like they have to pre-map like not just the roads, but like all the sidewalk. Like they have to do so
Yeah.
much detailed mapping that they keep it
Yeah.
pretty limited.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we were talking about the entire week or whatever. And then once we had our brunch, we were like, you want to take this thing to the airport? So I had my like GoPro or whatever. I filmed the entire thing just because I thought it'd be interesting to show people, and
Yeah,
in the
for
off
sure.
chance that something terribly went
True.
wrong, we would have the footage of it.
Documentation.
Dude, the experience was incredible.
Really?
Yeah.
Best customer service.
Yeah. It was phenomenal. So like it shows up, it pulls over and everything, puts its blinkers on, and then you have to like go on your phone and press unlock. The doors unlock, you get in. It talks to you a little bit. You have like a TV screen in the back. You can play music. You can change the air conditioning. You can do, whatever you want.
I'll tell you what, it would be nice to not have to worry about making small talk with a
I know.
driver.
Did it try and make small talk? Hey, how's your
No.
day?
No, it didn't, but we were very curious if it did. But the thing is, it drove better than any Uber driver I've ever had.
Really?
Like
All right.
quick but comfortable acceleration, very normal braking.
Okay.
No like weird like jerks or anything, super smooth turning, like
Not like the Uber driver we had going to Workbench Con last year.
oh.
We
all
were
thought
sitting
we
in
were
the back of
gonna
this
die.
Uber going to the convention center, and his GPS is like, turn right, turn right.
Oh, yeah!
turn right.
Turn
And he
left.
just keeps driving straight.
Going straight. Yeah.
But I think Deric, were you the one that said like I think Zach, you're like, sir, I think you need to turn here.
Yeah.
And he just like didn't respond either.
No, he
Yeah.
was ignoring us the whole time.
Yeah, it was very awkward. But no, if you're in like the Phoenix area or whatever,
I would definitely check one of those.
try it out.
I think that's very cool.
It ended up being like $3 more than an Uber. But you
Okay.
know how sometimes you open up Uber, you open up Lyft, and
They're within a
they
couple
can
Yeah,
hours.
yeah, sure.
vary by a few bucks. But yeah,
Did you have to
It was
download a
lovely.
special app in order to get it?
you do. You
Okay.
do.
So now the question: did you leave the driver a 5-star rating,
Yeah.
and did they leave you a 5-star rating?
So
What's your Waymo score?
that was the funny thing. I was like, is it gonna ask us for a tip?
Oh, true. And
It did not ask for a tip, but
Okay.
apparently they're adding tipping in the future. And the way it's going to
for
work, the way it's going to work is that the tip goes to a charity of your choice.
Oh, okay. All right.
Allegedly.
Oh, but they get the tax write-off.
Yeah, they're probably going to take some administrative.
That bugs me when
out of it.
companies do that.
Damn right it is.
Every time
Dude,
I
I
go to
get-
the
okay,
grocery
going
store,
back
you want to round it up? No.
Yeah. Going back to
Make
how
no
much I hate
donations.
the airport. I was in the New Jersey airport. Was that LaGuardia, I think?
Mm-hmm.
And they had a self-serve kiosk for drinks. So I picked up like iced tea or something like that. And the self-serve kiosk asked me for a tip.
I've seen that before.
I was like, what the hell? Like I've seen some pretty egregious tipping runaway culture, but this is a whole new
I
level.
won't stand for
There
it.
wasn't even like another like a human who worked there within sight anywhere.
But so here's the worst thing.
Mm-hmm.
We get out of the Waymo or whatever. We get to the airport, close the door, and we're like, "Yep, all right, we're good." Starts pulling away, and then Mandy goes, "I don't know where my phone is."
Oh,
Uh-oh.
And I was like, "Really?" She's like, "I think I left it in the car." And I'm like, "Well, I mean, we gotta go to our flight." Like,
Yeah.
and so then I look at the app, and instantly you get a thing on the app that says, "You have left an item behind."
Whoa.
That's what I thought was pretty neat, right? Customer service will be contacting you. So we like go through security or whatever. I call them, and they're able to like find the car or whatever. Like, okay, you're in car, J17 or whatever. I'm making this up,
Mhm.
right?
right.
I'm like, okay, we'll have it like sent back to our like dispatch station, and then we'll like search for it. So haven't heard back yet, but
Okay.
hoping that we can find it, because it appears that on like the Find My iPhone thing, it disappears or whatever. It
Yeah.
appears that it's at what we believe to be their like transit station, charging,
Okay.
cleaning
So that's a good
things.
sign.
So
Means somebody didn't grab it and run off with it at least.
My
you
goodness.
hope.
Now the real question: how long do you wait for? How long can Mandy be without a phone?
Uh-huh.
She have
I'm
an old
gonna-
one that she's using.
No. Doesn't have a
Oh.
phone right now.
She's just raw dogging life. No,
Yeah.
no
Wow.
phone.
What's it like not
No.
having a phone? I
Jeez,
can't
what the
imagine.
hell does she
Love-
do when she has 10 seconds of boredom?
You're not scrolling, you're not flipping, you're not playing,
Yeah.
Farmville. I don't know. So I'm gonna wait till tomorrow. I'm gonna call him again and be like, "Hey, I have the Find My iPhone thing. Like, here's the exact location. Like, what do we
Yeah.
need to do?"
Yeah.
We know you have it.
Right.
I think on a completely tangent, I think Arizona is the first city that has the Amazon drone deliveries too, doesn't it?
Oh, interesting.
Well, Texas and Arizona. So did you see any drones flying overhead with parcels?
No, but I saw a ton of signs all over the place that said no drones.
Oh, interesting.
But that also might have just been the national parks. It might not have necessarily just been.
Oh yeah. the
Oh
national
yeah, they
parks,
always have no drone signs in national parks, and I wonder why. Like,
Because people like fly them out and they fall into like the Grand Canyon or get locked up in trees and stuff like
yeah, I
that.
guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you get some sick photos. So
But so have you guys been in a situation where you've lost the phone? Like, how long do you wait before you just go, "Damn it, well, guess we got to go buy a new one"?
I've
I
never
would.
lost a phone.
What's that, Deric?
So I've never lost a phone.
Yeah, I've never lost a phone
Me
either.
neither.
But
I've had one. I've had the screen crack.
yeah,
And I have a replacement sent, but I've
Yeah.
never had to go without one.
if I lost one, I would. If I was in Mandy's shoes, I'd be like, okay, this is a forced upgrade. I would buy the new one that I wanted, and then if and when the old one came back to me, I would then sell it on Facebook Marketplace or whatever.
See, I always keep my last one just in
Oh,
case something like
really?
that happens.
Oh,
and then I have a
interesting.
backup.
Okay.
But it never happens, so
Yeah.
I'm
Right.
just paranoid.
Right. It's just one of the. It's just a bummer because it's like if we were still in Phoenix, then we could just like go to wherever it says it is and like
Yeah,
find it or
totally.
whatever, right?
Yeah.
But like, okay, I'm not buying a plane ticket.
No.
Try to get the phone. Like that's just move on. It just thinks you probably got like photos on there or whatever, pictures. But
Isn't all that stuff that's all iCloud now? No.
Should not know how to do that.
Don't you get a new phone and it's just like restore from the cloud and it just makes it the same as the old one?
you would hope so, if that's set up. But
If the user accepts those terms and conditions and sets it up
Mhm.
properly.
you never know. You
Yeah,
never
true.
know. But a little bit of a bummer. But hey, we're back and we're ready to party.
So
Ready
what was
to
it?
party
What was your
now.
favorite thing? Did you see the Grand Canyon?
Yeah.
You see any crash drones in it?
No, unfortunately
I guess
not.
the signs are working.
No crash drones. I mean,
Was
going
it-
to Grand Canyon was sick, right? We hiked down a
Yeah.
little bit. We wanted to go further, but having both of us having like not being able to breathe, We only went like
Oh.
1,500 feet down, which is
Not being
still
able
a
to
lot.
breathe because it was so hot, or because the air gets thick down there. Like,
No, because of
The
like
sinus
the
stuff.
sinus
oh, the
congestion
sinus
stuff.
stuff.
So it was like literally like every 100 feet, we were like, hold on, had to get like tissues and
yeah.
It's all that fine dust in the air from the sands and everything.
no. We both had it before we left.
Oh.
Oh.
So she was like, I'm really nervous. I'm gonna get on the airplane. They're gonna be like, you can't fly. I was like, just don't breathe. But
Do they turn you? They don't turn you away from airplanes anymore if you have like a cold or anything like that.
I think
don't know.
they actually encourage more people with colds to get on planes nowadays. It's been
Yeah.
my experience.
Yeah.
Oh.
It does suck being on a plane and somebody near you is like coughing and sneezing and making like weird hork noises. You're like, God, I am definitely gonna get sick.
Even worse is on the way back, I was stuck between because of course they when they rebooked their flight, I got the luxury of having the middle seat.
Nice.
I was stuck between these two guys that just smelled like BO and like baby poop.
Oh.
It was
Y'all didn't
so
sit together?
bad. That was good, Deric. That was good. That was good. But I was taking these like little like teeny breaths, and then when I got off the plane, I was like, I have never felt more relieved in my life. I can breathe now. Like, it was brutal.
Oh, it makes you thankful for the return to normalcy, I guess, at the very least.
I feel you. I feel you. But enough airlines. What have you guys been up to? What's been going on in your lives while I was gone?
I don't know. Deric, you got anything interesting to share?
Well, I went back up north and cleaned out another storage unit of my dad's and
That's
found
fun.
a couple interesting things. I found some
Nice.
old comic books of mine.
Oh, cool.
Got a record player that I'm gonna restore. It's in pretty good shape. It's like a 72 Panasonic record player, so
Cool.
it's
Sick.
truly vintage. It's in
Are you
pretty good
gonna make a video out of restoring it?
shape. I don't know. It depends on what I end up doing with it. Like I said, it's in really good shape. I don't know if I really need to do much. I cleaned off all the dust and everything, and it looks really good. I thought I might rebuild the box around it because it's like it's just like a 1/4-inch plywood box, maybe a little thicker than that. That's built around it. It's like true wood, but like I said, it's in good shape. I don't see a reason why I would need to, unless I wanted to make one that looked a specific way or fit a specific thing. For now, it's just kind of sitting back here, and it's something I'm gonna tackle in a few months when I get through a few other things. But
Does it function though?
I haven't tested it out yet. That's one thing I need to do is test it out.
Yeah.
But I don't have I got to find speakers I can hook up to it because it's got the old RCA analog connections on it. I don't have speakers that have that, so I need to either get something that'll convert it to like a headphone jack, or I don't know, figure something out for that.
That should be pretty basic. That's an analog connection. So as long as you just have, plus and minus touch each other, you should be good to go.
Yeah. You should open it up and put a Bluetooth thing in there. Make the first Bluetooth record player. I'm sure that already exists.
I built a modern record player. YouTube video already there. Thumbnail is going to be Deric's hands on something with the rest of it blurred out with a color and said it was hard.
Dude, I want to. Oh man, I finished a video yesterday, and today I was making thumbnails, and it's literally just dozens of variations of exactly that.
Yeah,
like different action things with my hands, with like the blue background, and like different combinations of 3 words.
But it works.
Yeah. My theory with thumbnails is like simple is better.
Mm-hmm.
You want to be able to look at it and understand it in a split second.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what other kind of treasures did you find in there, Deric?
No, I found an old what are they called again? The trunks, the old steamer trunk. That I got for my wife because she really likes that kind of stuff. So I brought it back for her. It's like something in the house. Like it's in really good shape too. and then just like a bunch of like some. There was a family heirloom that we had been looking for that we found. My great 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 grandfather, or maybe just too great, back in 1930 something, built a goat cart, not go kart, goat cart. So it's a cart that goats pull. Like you lash a goat to it and it pulls it.
I thought you were gonna say it was shaped as a goat. I was like, here we go.
No.
Can you make a goat cart go kart?
Right. That's I kept hearing go kart, and I'm like, I'm down. Where's the go kart at? But no, it was a goat cart. So it's like this old like wooden cart basically. It was like probably 3 feet wide by almost 5 feet long. It was pretty good size. And we'd been looking for it, wondering where it went because nobody knew where it ended up. And then we ended up finding it in this last storage unit. It's in pretty good shape, like for being almost 100 years old. Like it looked pretty good. So we got that to my aunt, who she's going to take it, or my uncle rather, who's going to take it, and he's going to do a little restoration on it. And they were all pretty happy about that. That was pretty cool. And then we found there was an old set of cabinets from the kitchen. When he did the renovation, he took a set of cabinets from the kitchen and put them in there to kind of like use as storage. And they were made, that thing, it was 4 cabinets. Like it wasn't that much, like 4 doors. Like it was like maybe 2 or 3 sets of cabinets. It wasn't much, but it was made out of like oak and gravity, because that thing was heavier than anything I've ever had. Yes. I mean, it was insane. That was the hardest thing to move. But there were some old, like I got a couple of old, the McDonald's used to do those little glasses that you would get in like your Happy Meal.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, back in like the
back when they
90s and
trusted
80s.
children with real glass.
So I got like one of those Garfield ones because my daughter is obsessed with Garfield right now, and I got that and brought it back for her. And then they had like a Flintstone. We had like a Flintstones one in there too, so I brought that back for myself.
Oh, that's cool.
Because they just kind of like that old stuff, and that was pretty neat. But yeah, that was about it. There wasn't much in this one. This one was a pretty small one. It was like 5 by 10, but it was pretty packed. Like
one of the tips I have when going through people's things, and this seems wild, but we found hundreds of dollars doing this. Every book you find, just go flip through the pages. We
really?
found hundreds of dollars in my grandparents' books.
Huh.
Well, my stepmom, before she passed away, was a reader, and there are thousands of books in the house, in these storage units, everywhere. I mean, just like so many books. We haven't even bothered to go through them all. They're just, it's like, yeah.
Do it. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. You'll find money in there. Well, what sucks is like you go to go to one of those bookstores or whatever, like a used bookstore. You could give them a truckload of books, and they'll be like, "Oh, I'll give you $7 for these," right?
Which is a shame, because it's just like it's a bunch of books. Like somebody somewhere is gonna want a book, right? You would think.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just feels a shame to throw it all away.
Right.
Yeah.
Take it to a bookstore.
Yeah. At the very least, yeah, just give them to somebody that would actually do something with them.
Right, rather than throw them out, right?
Yeah.
You know, it is what it is. But that's awesome. Zach, what have you been up to, man?
Like I said, I finished that. I finished the YouTube video today, so I was just doing all the boring.
Yeah.
Like the video was done, but I went in, I did the captions, I did a bunch of thumbnail variations, I did all my affiliate links in the video description, all the kind of boring. And it honestly, it takes a full day to do that stuff.
I know.
Yeah,
I know.
So that was my day today. But I got it all done, so I'm happy, and should have a video coming out. I got a line with the brand, but either later this week or early next week.
Yeah, heck yeah. What's the video on?
It's on the Nintendo DS, which is a little handheld console with 2 screens.
Yeah, that was the flippy up, and one of them had a semi kind of crappy touch screen on it.
Exactly. You know,
it didn't really work very well.
There
Oh,
you go.
there's
There
how
it is, right there. Yeah. So I did a bunch of upgrades to it. I used the Bamboo H2D in order to do it, so it's Bamboo sponsored video. So.
All right.
Yeah. What was your favorite upgrade on it, if I may ask, without spoiling the video?
Without spoiling the video, I think adding Bluetooth to it.
Oh, okay.
So you can listen with wireless headphones, because it was kind of fun. I hadn't seen anybody else do it before, and it was actually quite hard in order to make it happen. It was more engineering than I thought it would be. There was a lot of challenges I had to overcome, but I still got it to work.
Interesting.
Alright.
I will be watching that one for sure.
Yeah.
That'll be sick. Did you use the laser module in the?
I did.
new
Do I
printer?
have? Oh, damn! It's in my bedroom. But so I used it, and it's really cool. So I used it to cut through 1/4-inch plywood, so nothing too crazy. But it has a setting where you can emboss the wood. So most lasers are like kind of like cut, or they just kind of burn, for lack of a better word, the top surface of the wood.
Sure.
But this actually cut down like 1/8 of an inch into it and created like a cool 3D effect, which I didn't know it could do.
So it's like maybe a better way to think of it is that burns almost like it prints. But what you're saying this does is almost like a CNC where it like takes a cavity out.
Yes, exactly.
And is that cavity burnt?
Yeah, a little bit. So I actually left the burn in there because it was like kind of a nice contrast. It kind of made the lettering. I did a bunch of lettering and stuff, so it made the lettering pop. But you can just wipe it away with a damp cloth.
And then you'll have like a cavity routed out effectively.
Yeah, exactly.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I'm still trying to like wrap my head around the limitations of what the laser can do and what it can't. And I'd like to try like engraving some metal with it and do it like, I don't know. I don't know. I'm curious to see what else it can cut.
I don't know if it can, because on my X tool laser thing, I tried putting like house keys in it. Because everybody has like this chain of house keys, and you're like,
yeah, sure.
I don't know.
If you just had like front door, back door.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right. Didn't work.
Really? Because when I got it, Bamboo sent over these like little like pet tags.
Oh.
So I assumed it could. I don't know. But maybe they meant
metal.
to like print something and then like glue it on there. I don't know.
Yeah. So is that?
Curious.
Are those aluminum or are those like stainless steel?
I don't think this is aluminum. It's too heavy
Can
to
you
be
bend it?
aluminum. It's either like nickel plated steel or really highly polished stainless.
Well, let me know, because I'm very interested.
It might be steel that's plated with something else, and then what you're etching out is whatever's plated on it.
Ah, that would make sense. That would make sense. Yeah, I wonder if nickel you can burn with a laser or something like that.
So I'd be curious, could you use that laser to etch like your logo in your print plate for your 3D printer? So whenever you print off your 3D prints, you get your logo on the bottoms of them?
Maybe. I mean, I would be worried. You probably have to be willing to
Sacrifice one.
sacrifice a few plates to dial in the right settings.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I'm
you're right,
curious.
because they have all those plates that are like texture, like not just texture, but they'll have like camouflage patterns and stuff on them, and that gets embossed in whatever you print on them.
Now, one of the things that Keith had mentioned to me one time was like with the laser, what you should do. I don't know if they have it on there, but any new material you put in, say you're like, I don't know, you picked up a new piece of plywood or whatever. You throw your plywood in there, you can run these test patterns that are like grids that basically are like, here's the strength of the laser and here's the speed. And you can be like, ooh, when it goes at 50% strength and at, I'm making this up, 10 millimeters per second, I get the cleanest cut on this material.
Gotcha.
You should try that with.
Yes, I definitely should.
They're called like calibration tests or something
Okay.
like that. They're like a grid with numbers and stuff on it.
I'll text Keith and see if he got the H2D, but he got the one without the laser. So
So he was telling me about this with the X tool.
Yeah, interesting. I'm kind of wondering if a lot of that's taken care of with Bamboo, because you know how they like to kind of make everything as like easy and straightforward as possible. Because like when I was cutting the plywood, I basically I said, here's what I want to cut. I'm cutting 3 millimeter plywood, and then it did all like the feeds and speeds for me automatically.
Okay.
And it worked really well. It gave me like really nice results.
Did you use the plywood that like came with it that has like a QR code that it scans or something?
It's weird. It does have a QR code on it, but it didn't recognize it automatically when I put it in there. So I'm not sure if I was doing something wrong or if that's like a feature that they're going to implement down the line.
It may be newer and it just hasn't been up or down or in the software yet or whatever.
I've noticed that if you go, at least on the Bamboo Canada website or the Bamboo Canada store, they don't have the like plywood and stuff listed yet.
Like the material supplies and stuff.
Yeah. So, okay. Actually, no, I lied. They have updated it. I checked like a week ago and they didn't have it, but now they do have it. So I'd be curious, maybe now it'll allow for the QR code reading now that they're actually selling the material.
Interesting. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Huh. Well, keep us updated. I want to know how it goes.
Yeah. I'm enjoying this thing. It's cool machine. I'm curious to see how it does long term with mess and stuff cutting in there, but so far so good.
Yeah, the bamboo printer actually saved me a little bit here because my truck, the visor, on the passenger side, it came out. Like I got a Dodge 2021, and it's kind of a known problem. The way that it plugs into the roof, like it comes loose.
Okay.
And so I was looking up YouTube videos on how to fix it, and people are like, "Oh yeah, you can buy this part. Like people make it online. You can get it for like $10." And I was looking at the part, and I was like, "I bet I could print that." And then I go on to the Handy app, and I look it up, and sure enough, like there it is.
Oh, so cool!
Sitting in line,
sick!
Waiting for the kids. I sent it to the printer. Came home. It's ready to go. And I'm like, "Oh, now all I gotta do is just pop it in, and I'm good." And it test fitted. It works great. So I'm gonna print it off an ABS. So it's a little more sturdy for the heat of the car, but like that was pretty awesome just to have a solution right there and just print it off and be done.
That's so cool. I was with my car, there's a similar thing. There's a known problem where the seal for the sunroof can shrink. And it shrinks and then it retracts and you can end up with like a little leak in the sunroof. So I found a guy who was selling this gas, like it was like an extended gasket essentially. And I was looking at it, I was like, oh, this guy's 3D printing them. So I was like, I didn't want to, he was like somewhere in Europe or something like that. So it was like this little piece of plastic, and to order it was like, the thing was $15, but then shipping was $50, which is always super unsatisfying. Yeah. So I never actually ended up doing it, but I meant to message him and be like, hey, can I just have the 3D print file and I'll print it myself with TPU on my end?
And he did it.
$15.
No, I never actually. I forgot because it was like a preemptive thing. The sunroof gasket's still fine on my car, so it wasn't like high priority. But I just thought it was interesting. I was like, oh yeah, he's very clearly 3D printing this. I wonder if he'd give me the files if I asked.
Have you looked on all the different 3D print sites and seen if anybody actually has already got it up there?
No, I haven't actually.
I'm surprised every time I go to look up something like this where I'm like, there's no way people I'll look it up, and sure enough there's like 5 different versions of it up already. I'm like,
yeah.
Here's my only complaint with these printables or whatever that have all these 3D print files. There's no filter, and what I mean by that is there are some absolute dog shit files out there, right?
Yeah.
Ones that are just terrible, do not work. Like you down like a battery holder, and you're like, it doesn't hold the battery.
Right.
And so just anyone can post whatever they want on there.
Yeah.
And a lot of them suck. Or you're just filtering through a crowded mess of garbage.
Sometimes you'll get lucky and somebody will have printed it and reviewed it, but when you're getting into more obscure things like, sunroof gaskets and mirror mounts and stuff, or window visor mounts, stuff like that.
If you just looked up like a plastic planter, like sure, whatever it's fine, right?
Yeah.
But if you're having a part that interfaces with another part, that's good stuff. Yeah.
Actually, looking at, I pulled up this guy's website. Looking at it, I should just make my own, because this part does not look that complicated.
Yeah, but then you got to know all the measurements. It's like, what's your time worth?
True. But the way he sells it, he's got like a bunch of different sizes, because I guess it's hard to predict how much the gasket shrinks by.
Oh.
So, looks like you might have to measure it anyways.
Interesting. Yeah. Well, I've got a big question for you guys. This sounds more extreme than it is, but it's really not. I think it's going to be a highly opinionated question,
Okay.
but I want to hear your guys' feedback on it in the after show.
Okay.
You see that tease?
That's a great tease.
Been gone for a week and I still got it. So everybody, we are going to head over to the after show, discuss myriad of topics, including this highly opinionated one. And if you want to join us, just go over to patreon.com/offthecut-podcast. Sign up for any tier. You get access to the after show, the bonus show every single week. And we'll see you over there, or see you next week. If you don't want to join, that's cool too.
Okay. See you there, everybody.
All right. See you.
Spicy.
I want to give a huge shout out to our returning top tier patrons: Corey Duvall at Woodcrafts and Honey, Josh at Sawdust Bills, Joe Welsh at Delaware Valley Workshop, Goblin Spanker,
You can't say that anymore.
Building Creative.
Bingo bango, you're done.
Zach, to be honest with you, I don't even know if I follow you.
You should stop.
Always cracks me up. Jonathan's little, you should stop.
You should stop.
You should stop.
I came up with 4 titles.
4 titles?
4 titles.
All right, I got some too, but yours is probably better than mine.
The one where they make the ends meet,
Okay.
get a pat down,
Ooh.
make an enemy, or don't tip.
Oh, okay,
Ooh.
okay. I've got the one where they never fly,
Mhm.
wear jackets without shirts, forget their members,
Ooh.
build with gravity. I think I like Deric's more though.
I kind of like the pat down one.
Yeah. Okay,
Pat
that's
down
it.
is.
Where they get a pat down.
Yeah.
And then I had a question on the naming convention. So, like on Spotify or any app, really, whenever you go on and you look at the title of the show, it's usually all you're seeing is. I'm pulling up so I make sure I get this right.
So just say the one where they.
Yeah, usually it's like the one where they, and then maybe you'll get the first word or two, and then it's dot dot dot.
Mm,
So I was thinking of just shortening it to TOWT,
Sure. I'm down
assuming
with
sure.
that people listening know what that means.
it. Yeah.
See, this is what mine looks like. If I go on here.
Oh, okay, so you get the whole thing.
Huh. Okay.
Okay, maybe it's not the
Yeah.
problem. Okay.
I mean, it doesn't matter if you want to change it. It's all good.
What's the nomenclature like? Do we have a
It's
like
episode.
on YouTube? We have like episode 163, the
This
one
is
where they dot, dot.
EP.162/.
Okay, I was gonna say we could shorten it to pretty much exactly that. So
Yeah, if you want to change it, I don't care. It doesn't bother
Okay.
me.
hell
Yeah, I
yeah,
was just looking for
All
something
good.
because it's just so repetitive throughout.
yeah.
Well,
Not It's the make or break, but
yeah.
I
And
stay.
we got 44 reviews on Spotify now.
no, anything new?
On
I
Spotify.
don't know. It's just the stars.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Wait, okay. I was gonna say, you know the number one recommendation if you put more like this, it shows the 3 Splinters blog.
No. Damn. On mine it says
I get a
newscast.
fish talking show.
Oh my god, these recommendations are horrible. How to survive a zombie apocalypse?
I talk Fortnite.
yeah. I don't understand where they're getting the recommendations from. I
Yeah.
guess
Yeah.
maybe what most people are, because the most common thing other listeners are listening to.
Who the hell knows?
Right.
Who the hell knows? But well, live stream. We are gonna head over to the after show and
Yes, we are.
catch you there in a minute. Thanks for hanging out with us.
See you guys.